Hey, everybody, welcome back. It's another episode of Dadcast. I am JP. He is Nick. How are you, Nick?
I'm good, man. Freezing, but good.
Oh, well, yeah. You know, depending on when these things air, because we're so far deep in episodes, this one might actually drop late spring, maybe even be summertime. But at time of recording, yeah. we are smack dab in the middle of winter, and it's literally snowing outside my window here in Southern Oregon. So, yeah, wow. I know it's freezing. Today on the show, man, we are stoked to have this guy on. He's been in a number of television shows and movies that I know you have seen. He currently stars in the hit TV show Magnum PI, airing on NBC. He is Mr. Stephen Hill. How are you, bud?
Yo, what's up, fellas? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm great. Highly blessed.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, this is funny. We talked a little bit before we got this thing started. The premise of our podcast, typically, 95% of the time, we talk with celebrity dads about their journey, their path, the adventure that is all things dad. And of course, we do talk about careers and sports and all kinds of things. But we found out that you are, in fact, not a dad.
Nope.
All right. So
I wasn't sure if I could even do this podcast. I was like,
oh, no, man.
No, we've had a number of guys on that haven't been dads yet. So we're good.
Yeah, the dads and Dadcast are him and I. So we're guaranteed a dad every single episode, no matter what. Okay. We had your buddy, your co-star on, Mr. Zachary Knighton on for our episode 100. And I think that might have facilitated getting you on here. And we are just so stoked, man. And congratulations on the success of the show. It's good stuff. I would venture to say that you play a better TC than the original. And I know that's a bold statement, but
hey, that is a bold statement. You know, I think it all depends on what generation you ask.
Yeah. Excuse me. I'm right in the middle. I grew up as a kid with Magnum PI, but now as an adult, I could enjoy, you know, the more modern version. So again, taking it from me.
I definitely think you guys did it justice for sure. There's been some reboots. It's like, oh man, why?
Yeah.
You guys,
we didn't have the love necessarily in the very beginning. There were a lot of naysayers. But it's cool. The naysayers that convert to saying they love the show are the best fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's it like? You know, it must be real difficult for you to live and shoot in Hawaii.
No, not difficult in terms of, you know, the beauty of it, the weather. You know, even when it rains, it's beautiful, right? It rains, but it's like you get 15 rainbows in one day. It's like, you know, you really can't complain about that. But I will say, I went to school in Virginia. I went to an HBCU, Hampton University. I went to high school and pretty much all of my school in New Jersey, Willingboro, New Jersey, the majority of that being in South Jersey, which was like a 80% black neighborhood. And then being here, and then also growing up in New York, in Harlem, which is, you know, at least 70% black, and then the rest is all Hispanic. So for me, coming here and it's less than 1% black, it was a huge culture shock for me. Yeah. You know, I was like, whoa, where the brothers at? You know what I mean? But you know, I call everybody brother anyway. I'm kind of like Hulk Hogan in that way. But let me tell you something, brother. But no, seriously though, that can be a little bit difficult, you know, sometimes, because you just feel like there's just a loneliness, a slight loneliness here. I kind of mostly hang out with my cast. It's not the typical film and television situation. Here, it's kind of like we've gone away to TV college. You know, because nobody's really home except for Zach. He's making a home out of it here.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. And he's a surfer, so he should. So
I think I can kind of relate. And if this is insensitive, please just tell me. But when I was in Hawaii, and granted, I was visiting. We were there for a week. About 4 or 5 days in, I started feeling lonely because A, I felt trapped. I'm on an island. And two, B, did I say start A? Anyway, and two, I couldn't find a fish taco to save my life. And that is, I'm like, what is going on? We are surrounded by water. Why is there not a good fish taco joint in Hawaii? And Zach said he promised me that since I've been there have been a few new restaurants pop up, and he will cook me the meanest fish taco I've ever seen when we get there. So,
well, a buddy of mine in New York, he loves fish tacos. Guy named Chris Hughes.
Yeah,
and Chris, one of his favorite places was a place called Wahoo's, and Wahoo's has fish tacos. It's a franchise. Yeah. And they had one here, but they tore it down after COVID. So Wahoo's was a good place to go for a good fish taco.
Dang. Yeah. I'm going to back it up just a tad. It may be personal, but I don't care. Why aren't you a dad? Is this something that you haven't? It just hasn't happened. Is there something medically wrong with you? Is it just one of those things that just never hasn't happened yet?
I think my being a Libra has a little bit to do with it.
Okay.
We are, they say Libras are very indecisive.
Okay.
And we don't like to get backed into corners, so I hear these stories about dads, and every dad is like, yo, man, you living your dream, bro. You got to take your time. Don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? But I'm really at this point, and I've been saying this for a couple of years now, where I absolutely love what I do. I love coming to work. Anybody that works with me will tell you, like, I come to set and I can be like a breath of fresh air because I'm like, I'm doing what I love to do here. And I spent so many years trying to get here.
Right.
But, I'm never in a rush to get home. Right. Me and Zach share a trailer. We have what they call a double banger. He's on one side, I'm on the other. And as soon as we wrap, he's like, takes the microphone, boom, 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 boom. He's out of there. And I'm still like untying my shoes. You know what I mean? I'm just taking my time, And I think it's because I don't have that family to rush home to. And I'm looking forward to that level of purpose.
Okay, so that's
definitely a dad thing for sure. Like anytime, like right now, my kids are at the in-laws' house, and I'm like, man, I love doing this, but I can't wait to be done so I can hold my baby girl and get yelled at by my 2-year-old. And,
I got a glimpse, both you guys, last night and currently happening as we speak. Mom went to her grandma's house and took one of my kids with them, and the other one went and had a stay over at a friend's house. So I had the house to myself. I still do as we speak, and I don't know what to do with myself. I'm like, okay. Let's take my pants off and run around the house. Okay, totally got away with that one. Woke up at the crack of dawn, ready to make breakfast. I'm like, they're not here. This is kind of nice, but I don't know what to do with it. I'm so far down the path of being a dad that what you have now, I can recall in fond memory. And that is pretty much it. And looking at the two, being that, I've been through both.
Yeah.
I still think I'm 51% of me leans I'm going to stay being a dad if I had a choice to redo it all.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, man. That other 49% is very attractive.
Dude, my wife and I went out for a date the other night. My buddies were playing a show at a small little venue in town. And they're like, hey, come out and check us out. We got this cool new band that we're debuting and stuff. So I'm like, all right. We get out there. It's like 8:00. I'm like, babe, can we go home? I don't want to snuggle with the babies. I don't want to.
Just your age,
I don't want to
bro.
sit in the bar. Yeah, it's weird.
That's just you getting old.
Well, I'm 46, so it's about time. But I will say, I heard you guys talking about ARs, and I guess.
So you were sneaking on us right before when you logged in.
No, I didn't know the camera was off. I was on,
right. As we said, okay, dude, I'm in. Let's talk. You want to talk ARs?
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
Well, basically, I feel like they're just, especially the world we live in today. There are some skills you need to have, in order to be a dad, to be a family man, and I think knowing how to responsibly use a gun is one of those things. So. That's a skill that's on my my list to do things here in Hawaii, since I know so many military here. Yeah. I've got Steve Kaplan. I've got Navy SEALs. I've got all of these guys that are like, yo, let's go to the range. So I'm looking forward to that.
Isn't Hawaii one of the states, though, that it's very difficult for civilians to either purchase, to shoot, whatever?
Possibly. I think guns are tough to have, but interestingly enough, I've been studying with the samurai sword here.
Okay.
And I can walk around with a sword, but I don't know how long I'll be able to do that, because some guy chopped somebody's hand off or his arm off or something in a 7-Eleven with a samurai sword not too long ago. So I don't know.
Kick in the samurai sword ban.
Yeah, they might be changing that law.
Yeah, right. Well, it's funny, man. Let me ask you this: are you a fan of Star Wars at all?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so and how about Mandalorian? You fan of the Mandalorian?
I just watched the season 3 opener last night.
Yes, so did I. I've watched it 2 times actually. Not gonna lie. Yeah. So I don't know if I can show you this, if this is gonna come through, but I'm gonna show you this first and explain what I got going on. Okay, all right, here we go. Let's see. Can you see what's happening there?
Just a little bit.
Try it again. This is.
It looks like you got something. Is that hung up? Something hung up?
Can barely see it, man.
All right. So that is a.
Are you making a lightsaber?
It's the lower part of the AR. So it's the trigger assembly. It's called the lower piece. It's literally that big. It's where the trigger goes. Okay. And what you saw was laser engraving. As we speak, I am having a custom AR built for me. And that was Grogu being laser imprinted on the side. And on the other side is the Mandalorian crest, the logo. Nice. And the serial number is "This is the way," like TH1Z. Nice. It's going to be silver, and it's just so cool. I'm so excited about it. And I'm not really like guns, but I'm I like the opportunity. I adhere to the whole "I'd rather have it, not need it," versus not have it when I need it type scenario.
That is the way.
And I mean, this is the way. Exactly. And I might as well go with a theme in it. So my Mandalorian, as soon as you and I are done here, I'm going to pick up the lower part and get this thing built.
I'm all for it.
I'll send you pictures when it's done. Oh, it's going to be amazing. But man, you should go get that done. Go shooting. There's something to be said. It's fun.
Especially if you got the chance to go with a bunch of military too. I have a bunch of friends in the military, and it's so much more fun to do stuff with them than it is to go with a bunch of people that don't really know what they're doing with cool guns. If you go with a bunch of people that know what they're doing with cool guns, it's way cooler.
Well, one cool thing, I worked on a project with an actor named David Morse. You guys know David Morse?
Heard of him, yeah.
Oh, man, he's an incredible actor. Old school. He was on St. Elsewhere back in the days.
Yeah.
And he was one of the guards on the Green Mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I worked on this project for the military training, for resiliency training. And we shot it in Fort Dix in New Jersey. And, I got to basically run through the woods with actual soldiers and shoot guns.
Sounds like a good day to me.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Man, I had a question, and then I got all enthralled with your story. Oh, Nick, what was it? Nick, what's happening here?
I'm like the worst mind reader ever.
Oh, yes. Speaking of that gun, and we'll move on. And coincidentally, the shirt you're wearing, Nick, it's very strange, but a shout out to my guy Dave at Redcon 1 Firearms Weaponry. He's the one building this for me. And it's funny that you're wearing a Redcon 1 shirt, but that's a completely different company, completely different product. But that one works. It's camo, highest standard readiness. I mean,
you have the same shirt, by the way.
I know. I just haven't put it on yet. Where did I put those shirts? I should have worn that today. I'm going to wear that when I go over there.
Learn guns is, I don't plan on staying in a city either. I want to move out to nice countryside somewhere. I know when you have kids, schools dictate a lot of where you live. Mm-hmm. But my goal is to have some land. I don't want to pay millions of dollars to live and I can knock on the wall and hear my neighbor.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, I want to be able to throw a football and hit my neighbor's house. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. But, exactly.
Yeah, maybe. My test of where I want to live is I want to be close enough to borrow a cup of sugar, but far enough away where you can't hear me making love. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So that opens up an entirely other conversation.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
First of being is how loud are you? Because and depending on the partner, that could be a mile away.
Do we even know how loud we are? We're so used to living in such confined spaces and, kind of adjusting to that. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
People have room.
I'm going to add this one. I'm going to add this one to the notch of not being a dad bonus. Okay. Because when you're a dad, there's kids running around the house most of the time. And you either A, don't want to wake them up, or B, they're old enough and you don't want them to know what's happening behind closed doors.
Exactly.
So there you go. Strike one up for the non-dads out there.
We forgot. We're really loud.
Yeah.
No, now I'm quiet. I'm like,
I know.
Now it's like that movie, The Quiet Place.
Right.
Now it's all about sneaking around. It's like, it's so, dude. That's one thing I do miss about not being a dad. The sneaking around part. Okay, babe, we got 5 minutes. Can we make this happen? Kids fell asleep. Is the baby gonna cry? Oh
wow.
Yeah.
You poor son of a bitch.
But I need some horses too. I would love if I can have it. I'd love to have a few horses on my land.
What's your ideal spot for that land? Magnum PI ends tomorrow. You're cashed out $20 million check. You get to go buy a house and property anywhere in the world. Where's it going to be? I'm
thinking maybe like a North Carolina, South Carolina, because I have family there.
Nice.
Dig it.
So I think that might be it. Somewhere on the East Coast, somewhere where there are seasons. I like seasons. I like an occasional snow. I think it's a beautiful thing. Especially if you have kids. Kids love snow.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, they do. It can be a lot of fun. Not as much fun in New York City, where the snow is beautiful for about 5 minutes before it all turns brown.
Oh, yeah, right. You got to work to shovel it out. I mean, it's, whew, I'm glad we don't get. We get, Southern Oregon, at least the spot we're in here, we get every season. So, I mean, put that on the list to look at because, and you can own guns.
I might check it out.
It's beautiful.
Wherever I go, I got to go there first and just kind of feel the vibe. Like if I don't feel the love, I'm not moving.
Here, it makes you feel better. The original Magnum PI had a farm in Grants Pass.
Tom Selleck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right off it was actually, you can actually see it from the freeway still. It's this huge farm on tons of acreage. It's beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wants to be a farmer, though, but all right. Let's shift into the career there, Mr. Stephen Hill. How did it get started? What was your inspiration to become an actor and how'd that work out?
When I was in college, I used to model. I was a lot slimmer than I am now.
We all were, brother. We all were.
Too much modeling these days. Working on that dad bod right about now.
And I wore the shirt, man.
Yeah, that's me. I might be able to win that shirt in about a couple more months if I don't get on that treadmill. But I used to model in college, and then I went back to New York after college. I was modeling, and I kind of didn't really like it so much. Felt like I wasn't doing anything. You just show up somewhere and people take a few pictures of you, and they tell you whether or not you booked the gig or not. And I never, after college, I never booked any gigs except for maybe a music video and some other things. But my mother died. I was working for Xerox, selling copiers. My mom dies in 2003. And I had just started taking some acting classes. And, I felt like she didn't get a chance to really explore her creative side and just do something that she really loved to do. Her whole life was raising kids. She would always, I felt a way about that, but she would say, at least 2-3 times a week, I'm sick of raising kids. I'm tired of raising kids, So that might be why I don't have kids right now. But
I was thinking that. I didn't want to say it.
It might be. But she, I felt like she was so talented. She probably could have been an awesome interior decorator. She was a great mom. And so I put my all into acting at that point, because I just felt like, you know what, I'm going to go for a dream. I'm going to go for it. Right. I ended up leaving. I left Xerox and, waited tables, and I should have stayed at Xerox because waiting tables kept me broke. And then for the first 6 years, all the acting I did was on the weekends anyway. So it was like, okay, why the hell did I do that? But it was just, it was for me to be broke so I can appreciate getting a good paycheck now.
What was your first, what was your big break?
Big break? I want to say, honestly, my big break is Magnum PI.
Okay. All right.
But I was working on a Lewis and Clark story for HBO that never came out. And that was a huge break for me. And then my first speaking part on TV was Law Order SVU.
Yeah, I saw that on your credits here when I was doing my quick little search on you here prior.
Yeah.
Good stuff. You haven't yet graduated to the intro where I say, and he has been seen on every single TV show that's ever existed, but you're getting there, man.
Oh, yeah. Now, if you would say he's been at every Black film festival in the country several times,
yeah,
I have that notch on my belt.
Yeah, that accolade. All right.
Yeah.
What is so, obviously Magnum PI is not gonna, maybe we get a good 5-6 more years out of it, right? Maybe more, maybe less.
Let's go.
What do you foresee, or what do you want to, Magnum PI ends, then what? Major motion pictures, you want to keep doing TV? What is your ideal landing spot if and when that ever ends?
I feel like ambition changes. I think people's ambitions change, when they have kids, but it's strange. It's kind of changed for me, even though I don't have kids.
Yeah.
There was a time in the beginning, everybody wants to be Denzel Washington.
Right.
But part of that is, there's talent, and then there's also just being in the way you're inserted into the machine of Hollywood, right? I have been, you guys watch The Matrix?
Oh, yeah.
For me, Hollywood is kind of like, there's this one part of The Matrix when he was like in that train station where he wasn't in the Matrix and he wasn't out of the Matrix. He was like in this between world kind of, right. And like he would run through the tracks and come out right back on the other side. And just like was in this like enclosed loop.
Right.
That's kind of what it's like for me because I didn't get my big break in New York City. I didn't get my big break in LA. I kind of like am in Hollywood, but I'm under the radar because I'm in Hawaii, right? So I don't go to, on the weekend, everybody goes to Jamie Foxx's house. He has barbecues and stuff. I don't get those invites because I'm here, right? I'm going to read to some kids at a Raising Cane's tomorrow, read them children's books, So, I'm just in a different level of Hawaii. And I'm like, it's really good money in television. I can keep going television route and be, quote, totally fine. It took a while for me to get there. I used to want the accolades, but I feel like I have stories to tell. And I'm currently writing a memoir. And I feel like the memoir will be at least my story's out there. And,
yeah.
I don't get a lot of opportunities to do like podcasts and things like that. That's why I was like, even when Zach told me that you guys wanted to interview me, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute, man. They reached out to me, but I was kind of iffy about it because I didn't want to like ride his coattails. You know what I mean?
Oh, man, you got your own coattails to ride.
Yeah. I didn't know how he would feel like, oh, man, I do the Dadcast. You know what I mean? Oh. You're not even a dad. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Hearing those words from you right now, I feel like that is the greatest compliment in disguise we have ever had.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you telling me that Zachary Knighton might have the possibility of being offended that anyone else involved with him in his show doing Dadcast, that blows my mind. That shouldn't even be that's not even a thing in the world of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And for us, it's just like interviewing people that are doing really cool things. And JP said earlier, we're the dads. And like, just, getting the message out there, be positive, do cool stuff, and good things will happen. That's kind of
and just talking to good people, good souls. And, Heck, you know, even if there's a bad one out there, maybe we could do something to change that. You know, even if we don't change them, someone watching that episode 5 years from now, and they get something from it.
One thing that's you know, I want to make sure I bring this up because it's relevant here. And on the show, my character, I adopt a kid on the show.
Okay.
So you know, I become his father on the show, but a lot of dads reach out to me, and they say that, you know, I'm one of their favorite characters because my character is kind of the writers and the showrunner call my character the moral compass of the show. So, you know, I'm the good guy, right? Yeah. I'm the loyal guy, the good guy. I'm the protector. So I'm very much so an authoritarian dad figure on the show. So, you know, there was a guy, he reached out to me. He's a cop in Boston, 40-something-year-old white guy. And him and his son love to watch the show. And I'm their favorite character, right? So it's like, it's so crazy. It's like, I got this cop from Boston of all places, right? And he's reaching out to me, and like, you know, I shared that with one of our previous showrunners, Peter Linkoff, who gave me this opportunity. So grateful to him for that.
And we had Peter on earlier this week, by the way.
Oh, you had the man on. Okay.
Yes, we did.
Shoot.
We're about to get the whole damn cast. Okay. You just got to throw an elbow to Jay over there. We always need him on, and we'll complete the trifecta, you know?
Let's get him on here. But this guy, Peter sent the guy, you know, a copy of the script, some architectural drawings of like some cool stuff from the show, like really, really cool things, man. And we made sure that guy got some swag, and you know, it's pretty dope to be a part of a show, but then translate that into being a part of the community.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
There was a kid, we did a screening at Pearl Harbor, and we couldn't stay. We had to leave. And the mom reached out to me and said, "Oh, the kids were pretty disappointed that you guys couldn't stay." And, you know, I felt bad. I got such a soft spot for that kind of thing. So I said, "Hey, listen, why don't we go to my favorite pancake spot out here, this place called Lilia Bakery, and let's go have some pancakes." So I get there, and this mom who's done some extra work on the show, she's there. She has this kid, little kid named Cody Flint. And turns out he had straight F's in school because his dad was doing his 16th tour in Afghanistan. Oof. Right? Oh, man. So his dad was a gunner in the Army on a Chinook. And so I said, "All right, man, we got to get your grades together. You know, I'll get you on the show. I'll do whatever." So, you know, I wouldn't say I mentored him, but I was just there for him. You know, if he wanted to talk, I could talk to him. You know, I've taken him to Dave & Buster's, to the movies, stuff like that. And he got his grades up. He went from straight F's to straight A's. And, you know, I was there when his dad came home. You know, got up 3 o'clock in the morning, went to Schofield Barracks and saw the whole unit come home with lays on their necks. And, you know, I've got photos of that. It's like really cool stuff. But it was... it just felt good to help that kid. And I kept helping him out, and he'd end up being on the show. His mom's on the show. His dad's on the show. You know, everybody's like in the background somewhere.
Right.
Oh, very cool.
See, that's dad life right there. I don't think you realize it, but you're a whole heck of a lot more than a mentor to that kid, to that whole family. Yeah. I mean, you were there, and it sucks that dad was absent, but he wasn't. I'm not going to call him an absentee father because the man is serving his country. And he's not one of these jerks that just leaves. You know, he's got a purpose, and you filled in that space, albeit a little bit, but did what you needed to do and turned this kid's life around, the whole family around. And I want to back up to the Boston guy as well. To you, it may be a cool feeling. I've worked in radio, so I've had the opportunity to give stuff to fans, et cetera, and whatnot. I'm by no means on the level of a Stephen Hill. Okay. But the fact you did it. So that's pretty cool. Makes me feel good. That family, that father and son, they're going to remember that for the rest of their life and hold on to that moment forever. And you provided that. You have the ability, the podium to do that. And that's amazing, man. Good stuff.
Yeah.
You should be a dad. Is there a wife or a girlfriend, Steven?
I'm working on that.
Okay, let's go, man. You're going to be the greatest dad ever. I'm telling you.
I think I would be. I think I really do. I think I'll be a great dad. I do.
And don't worry about the fact that you'll be 68 when that kid turns 21.
Pretty much.
if it happens in the very near future, Yeah. Nick here, he's 44.
43.
I keep getting that wrong, Nick. 43. He had, I know what, I always make you tell the story. I'm going to tell it this time.
Go for it. You got it.
He has 873 children. Okay. He actually has 7, but 700-800. What's the difference when you have that many?
A guitar for each child.
Yeah, there you go.
But after 3 kids, you lose count. You can't remember names. So it's
5 kids. He was done. Okay. Yeah. Got himself snipped, Steven. And then found a new lady, got married. She didn't have kids. She wanted kids. He got himself unsnipped. Has now a 2-year-old. Pushing 3, and a brand new little baby girl who I have yet to meet, if you can believe it, who's about a month old, and he's 43. So don't think that it's too late. It isn't. This man right there is a brand new papa after being finished.
Yeah. I don't like. It's good that you haven't met him yet, because when they're like that small, even though I got huge hands, I feel like no, they're too delicate. I might drop them. You hold the baby.
I've got the experience, man. In fact, my first son, when he was, hours old, I did the Heisman pose with him.
Yeah.
It was, that's one of my greatest pictures ever. Mom's freaking out. No, believe me, he's protected. He's got his neck is straight, his back is. This is in Dad's arms. We're good. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's it's really cool that you can do good things like that. I don't know if you answered the question on what you wanted to do though. After write your memoirs. That was it.
No. When I get out of here, I want to. Oh, this is it. Television's great. If I could roll out of this into another television show, fine.
Right.
I play a helicopter pilot, so maybe what do they call a spinoff would be nice.
There you go.
That's like shooting on for a star.
Right.
But voiceover stuff would be great too, like some kind of cartoon, a cartoon life. Because that you can just have a microphone and a little studio at your house. And it can be very lucrative, but it's very competitive. You have an advantage, though. I mean, look at this. Listen to this voice. This is I've worked radio for 20 years. I've tried to do voiceover work. I haven't really put everything there is into it, but it's difficult. Take it from experience. It is. But trust me, I know. I was with a company agency called Paradigm. Which I don't even think is around anymore because of COVID, but they were like one of the top voiceover agencies, and I was just starting to book stuff. And then I booked Magnum, and they were like, huh? Damn it. We put all the work into getting you out there.
That's crazy you brought them up. I do concerts behind on the side, and Paradigm was one of the big agencies I worked with a bunch of bands and stuff that
are you not allowed to contract voice work while shooting a TV show?
You can, but it's just that's the thing about Hawaii too, is it's beautiful, it's great, but the time difference here is insane. So
I know, man, getting up at 7 a.m. to watch a football game, 1 o'clock, the first game came on.
Yeah.
What is happening here?
It's crazy here. Yeah. So the time differences make booking things, and then even leaving to go to, even if it's just LA, that's still 5-6 hours away. Yeah.
Well, speaking of football, when I was in Hawaii, it was, I couldn't believe it. I was up at 7 a.m. watching my Raiders play. And I thought that was like, this is the greatest thing ever, man. I'm going to have my game over. Turns out I was drunk by noon and passed out by 2. So it was vacation. All right. And I think that's the last time, Nick, I've actually drank heavy was when I was in Hawaii. That's now pushing a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
Whew. Are you a drinker, Steven?
No, I have a full cabinet full of liquor right next to me.
Then you don't touch it.
I don't drink much.
Isn't that crazy?
I don't typically drink alone. You know, I try it. I think it looks cool on TV. And, you know, when the guy comes home and he makes himself some spaghetti and meatballs, you know, I feel like every guy that thinks he can cook makes spaghetti and meatballs. But he makes himself spaghetti and meatballs and he pours himself a glass of wine. And I sit there and I never finish the glass. I never finish a glass of wine. I open a whole bottle and never finish even one glass.
That son bitch got to breathe for a while.
Stupid. Yeah.
Well, that Nick, you know what? We're gonna do a fast five, okay? Because we're getting close to the end of this thing here.
I didn't do a fast five.
Well, that's all right. They're always the same questions anyway, Nick.
Kind of. So
this is a radio segment that I did. It's called the Fast Five. We ask 5 quick questions, and you can answer them or not. You know, bing, bang, boo, easy peasy. Right. Nick, go.
If you could have a billboard with anything on it, what would it be and why?
A billboard with anything on it, what would it be and why? A billboard with me, myself. I mean, my sister, and my younger sister. My younger sister has Down syndrome, and my older sister is her caretaker. And because my younger sister has such a demand on her time, she doesn't really get out there and be celebrated. So if I could have the two of them with me on a billboard and celebrate the two of them, that, you know, they're always behind the scenes. It would be nice to have them, you know, in front.
There you go.
Awesome. Yeah. What's your favorite location to film in?
Favorite location, Kaneohe Bay.
Okay.
One time we did a scene where we were on stand-up paddle boards, and we were just out there in the ocean. That day was just glass, and you could see right through it all the way to the bottom, and it was just like turtles swimming around, and it was just beautiful. Favorite location.
Awesome. Who's your favorite actor or actress that you've worked with?
Favorite one that I've worked with.
That's an unfair question, by the way.
Yeah. Besides my cast.
Yeah. Besides your cast.
Yeah, besides my cast now. I had a lot of fun working with, even though it was really short, I got to work with Ron C. Jones for a few minutes on Luke Cage.
Oh, sweet.
And he was kind of like one of the few mentors of mine. And then I would say Roger E. Mosley, you know, nice. The original TC. We did 2 episodes with him, and he was definitely a mentor to me. And that was just incredible.
Tell him I said you were better, by the way.
Yeah. Well, he passed away.
Okay. Well, then
this summer, good. You know, so I've lost my mentor and all these ideas that I had for us to both be in a helicopter at the same time. You know, you never know when you get those opportunities, so you got to seize them when you can.
Yeah. If you could remake any movie or TV show, what would it be?
You already did.
A movie.
Besides Magnum.
Okay.
I would say a movie, I think, would be Weird Science.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
I think that would be a good.
Are you going to play Chet? Because I just, for some reason,
that would be awesome.
That's the vibe I'm getting. I don't know why.
I was like, I guess I'm going to have to direct that because I can't be any of the characters. But you just gave me the character. I can play him.
You can be Big Brother Chet. Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. What's your favorite food to cook?
Favorite food? I've been cooking it since the 4th grade. We had International Food Day. And this was my favorite food, and it still is to this day, chicken parmesan.
I had some last night.
All right.
Good stuff. All right, I got a couple more questions. You can act alongside any actor, actress, living or dead, who you haven't previously worked with on any project. What would it be, or who would it be?
I would say Denzel Washington.
All right. I've been called the white Denzel before because I always say that. All right. You see, you know what I mean?
Sidney Poitier.
All right.
Sidney Poitier.
Okay. Yeah, that's Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, because I feel like he comes from an era where everything was about passing on the torch.
Right.
And Denzel's he received that torch, and that era of his doesn't necessarily want to pass it so much.
Yeah, he doesn't.
They want to hold it forever.
That's an interesting question. All right, here's another one. Denzel needs to pass the torch here in 5-10 years. Who's it going to be? What actor today? I mean, are we talking like a Michael B. Jordan, or in your mind, who do you think?
Well, he passed the torch to Chadwick Boseman. He actually helped pay for his schooling
that sucks so much.
Yeah. So I mean, and then he has his own son who is an actor now.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah, he sounds just like him. Almost, you close your eyes.
He almost looks just like
Denzel's on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think a Denzel passes the torch to someone we don't know. Only
you know who they are yet?
The world that we live in now, you can be in an indie film, nobody knows you, and 6 years later, you're, like a Jonathan Majors, who is now, he's in Creed, which I got to go see this weekend. He's in Creed 3. He's also in Ant-Man. He's, Ant-Man and the Wasp. He's all over the damn place. So, but just 6 years ago, he was in a film called The Last Black Man in San Francisco, and I had never even seen him before. And I was like, so if you're inserted into the machine, you can go through the roof very quickly. So I don't know. I think it would probably be better if Denzel passed the torch to somebody that we don't even know yet.
All right. So my last and most important question I always ask on this podcast, I cannot ask of you because you cannot legitimately answer it. It is normally, what is the best advice you can give to a new father or about to be father? We're going to skip that one because it doesn't apply. So I have shifted it up, and I think it's just as important, especially in your field and your career and for other up-and-coming actors. What is one bit of advice, important advice, that you could give to any upcoming actor or actress to make it big? Or, not even make it big. What's the most important advice you give to a young aspiring actor?
Well, I have a mentee, and I have a couple of younger actors here, people that want to be actors. I tell them you have to make the decision that you're going to be the actor and not the fan, right? Because there's a difference in how you behave. Not saying you're the actor, so I got to put myself on some sort of pedestal, but it's just how you receive and give energy and information as a fan and as the actor. You have to make that decision. And to make that decision sober, don't do drugs. Although there are plenty of amazing actors that have storied tales of debaucherous nights and, and just high.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
Nick woke up naked in a field once.
Yeah, I do. Oh my God. But I do feel that, you only hear the success stories, but there are a lot of people that get wasted and never make it, so I think I would tell them to stay off the drugs.
Stay off the drugs. All right. Yeah. There you have it. All right. We got to end this thing here. It's been our time, but I would like to ask you another question, invite you. I want to do more with you, Stephen Hill. It's we do a Father's Day episode every single year. Now, you would be the very first guest, person, entity, guy in the history of this show that we've ever invited to be on the Father's Day special that was not a dad.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, with time constraints and whatnot, Nick will look into that, but we would love to have you on for that episode. We usually record it a couple of weeks before Father's Day, which means it's coming up pretty soon. And it's about 30 of these different blocks with a whole smorgasbord of celebrities, athletes, actors, authors, you name it, all on this one screen. I think you would be an amazingly awesome addition to it. I think, I don't know why, but I feel like him and Dancy Nick, would like become best friends and help each other even more. You know who Patrick Dancy is?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was an actor back in probably the 80s on
late 80s, early 90s, hanging with the boys, right?
Yeah, hanging with the boys. He owns Legend Footwear. He's like the most motivational guy I know. If I'm feeling down and I need to get talked up, I'll text him and he'll call me in 5 minutes and give me a pep talk. And it's like, whoa.
He's a former model too. Awesome. So
Well, I went to a film festival in LA once. It was the Pan-African Film Festival. And this guy came up to me and he said, yo, man, I just want you to know a film you had out here about 5 years ago called Barbasol, right? Where I played his dad, teaching his son how to shave. And then the son ends up, because we're going to the old folks' home, and I got to shave my dad. And the son ends up shaving the grandfather, right? And the guy said to me, he said, yeah, man, that film, I don't know if you know, but we show that film every Father's Day.
Oh,
to
wow.
a group of like 50 dads.
Yeah.
And so, this kind of sounds like that sort of thing where it's like, hey, I think I have the essence of a dad. I don't have the baby of the dad.
Right.
I have the essence of a dad. I would love to be involved.
Awesome. Okay.
There's the answer. Yes, we would. Awesome. Man, well, gosh dang it. That is it. I kind of want to book a part 2 with you too, but we'll do that later down the line, man. Maybe when you find that lady and, for lack of a better way to put it, hurry up and knock her up, man. Let's get it. Nick, are you embarrassed for me right now? Is that
a little bit, man? I'm like, just stop. This is where I was like, just stop talking.
Well, I can tell, man. Look. And if I'm wrong, Steven, we'll end it on this. Okay, but if I'm wrong, I feel like I've been doing interviews for 20 years, Nick, whether it be on the radio or through this. I can get a feel for someone if they're uncomfortable or if they're uncomfortable, but being cool, and everything in between. Stephen Hill does not mind it when I tease him that way. Oh, no, I could tell. And right off the bat, because if he did and I got the hint toward it, I wouldn't be doing that. I'd be scared to. Trust me. So Nick, don't be embarrassed for JP. It's okay. Why am I talking in third person again? Stephen Hill, he is currently acting and a major character in the hit TV show Magnum PI. He is TC. Check it out on NBC. What is it, Friday nights?
No, we are
Thursday nights.
On Sunday night.
Ooh, the good slot.
Yeah.
Sunday nights on NBC. And of course, you can stream it on Peacock.
I'll give you one last fun fact.
Okay.
TC has a mom this season, which is going to be great. And I got a lady this season. And some really interesting things happen to TC. So I hope people tune in. I'm so proud of it. But in season 2 or 3, there was a dad storyline for me. And my dad was supposed to come. And literally like 2 or 3 days before we were going to shoot, something happened. He couldn't do it. But my father was supposed to be Mr. T.
He was going to play the role of Mr. T in the show?
No, he was going to play the role of TC's father.
Okay, right.
Mr.
So your
T.
own father would have played your... Man, that would have been so cool.
Mr. T would have been my father.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you never know. Next season.
He might come back. Who knows? I hope he does.
Stephen Hill, thank you so very much, man, for coming on Dadcast. It's been an absolute pleasure. We appreciate you. Keep up the kick-ass work. To everyone watching this, wherever you may be, however you may be listening, thank you so much. We appreciate your support. Make sure you tune into Magnum PI on NBC Sunday nights or on Peacock. You can stream it anytime you like. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and we'll catch you on the very next episode. Again, Stephen, thank you so much, man.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Peace.